Yo, what's going on, everybody? In this video, we're going to look at the NBA Showdown slate for Tuesday night of the Bucks heading into Toronto to face the Raptors in Game 4. Starting off at captain, before we get started, please like and subscribe as always. Anyway, at captain, there's a couple guys that I am considering. I think both Giannis and Kawhi you can play as captain. Those are going to be the more popular options. If you're looking for a cheap option at captain, I like Norman Powell at only 5,100. So he played just 30 minutes last game. He fouled out. He would have played even more because of how effective he was and how much Danny Green struggled once again. So I feel like Norman Powell and Danny Green are going to get swapped. Or if they don't get swapped in the starting lineup, Norman Powell is definitely going to eat minutes away from Danny Green with his play. So we'll look at going with Kawhi Leonard as captain and then going with Powell as captain and seeing how the other players work out. But if you play Kawhi Leonard, then you're definitely going to want to play Giannis. Giannis is probably in for a huge bounce back spot. I mean, after that game, the way he played last game, and just by knowing his character, I feel like he's going to come out and really make a case for himself after he just had 12 points and 8 turnovers. But he still put up 58 Draftkings points because he had 23 rebounds. So even though he shot terribly, he shot under 33%, he did not let his shot affect his other stats in other categories. Still had 23 rebounds, had a bunch of assists and blocks as well. So Giannis, you gotta love him here in this spot. And then besides those two guys, I like a very cheap Nikola Mirotic at 4,600. So his price tag is going down. He's still seeing good minutes here, like 25 to 28 minutes. He played 29 minutes in the overtime game. He didn't see a ton of minutes in the overtime. He saw minutes when Giannis fouled out, but he can still get the job done. He had 3 steals last game. Still hasn't been shooting the ball well, just 1 of 7 and 2 of 7 and 1 of 6 the first 3 games of the series. But if he shoots like 40 to 50% from 3 one game, he's going to easily have a 30-point fantasy score, and at just 4,600 is a really strong play. And then besides those guys, I like Brook Lopez at 6K. So Lopez had another good game, going 16.6 rebounds. We know he has a ton of block upside, averaging 2.2 blocks on the season. And he's going to close the game. So I really want to get the guys that are going to close the game. And he is going to close with going up against Marc Gasol. So he played a lot of minutes, 40 minutes in the double overtime game. He's a little more volatile than some of the other guys, but that's what we're looking for. So at 6,000, I think he has the potential to put up 30. And we know his ceiling is over 40s and 50s. And then with some of these value plays, like Norman Powell is going to be a lock at just 3,400. You can play him at captain too, which we will look at. But at 3,400, he's got to be a lock. I don't see how he doesn't make value at this price unless he just shits the bed shooting the basketball or gets fouls out in 10 minutes. But Norman Powell is going to be a great value play. And then you can go with Chris Middleton. I don't think anybody's going to really play Chris Middleton. But if you look at his game logs, he shot 3 of 16 the last game, shot 5 of 8 the second game, only took 8 shots that one, and then took 12 shots and only made 4 of them. But he had a double-double the first game. He's playing a ton of minutes, 44 minutes in that double overtime game. He still would have played over 34, 35 minutes, and with the Bucks being so deep, some of the other starters play under 30 minutes. But Middleton is not one. They like to keep him on the court for his scoring and defense. And I feel like he's going to have a good game before the series is over. He's going to have a 40-point game. And I don't think he's going to be very popular because people like to look at the box scores and they see 25, 15, 33, and they'll go elsewhere. But I think he's definitely in play if you're looking for a low-owned option. So like Middleton. So it's something like this I like a lot. And then if we play Norman Powell as the captain, that's 5,100 there. Leaves us with plenty to spend. So we definitely want to go with Giannis. Definitely want to go with Kawhi. I like Siakam. So Siakam once again continued his strong play at home. He's been much better at home this postseason than on the road, and he put up 49. And he basically played the entire game. Him and Leonard basically played the entire game. And then with 6,200 left, I like Mirotic at 4,600, and then 7,900. Go with Malcolm Brogdon, who's seeing more and more minutes every game and been playing super well. So he's another guy that will close the game. So the Bucks closed with Bledsoe, Brogdon, Middleton, Giannis, and Lopez. And then once Giannis fouled out is when Mirotic came in. So I feel like Brogdon is going to close the game with his great shooting that he has and his free throw shooting and just how well he's been playing since he's been back from his injury. So something like this, I like. You get you get all the studs with Kawhi and Giannis, and you get a great player in Siakam who has 50-point upside, and then you get some great value like Mirotic and Powell. So that's like the two options, the two builds that I'm looking at. And then on Fanduel, I'm still going to play the guy that I have projected for the most raw points, and that's going to be Giannis. So I feel like this is a spot where you could fade Kawhi here. I know it sounds crazy, but Kawhi Leonard did a lot of his heavy lifting in the overtimes. Like, I'm pretty sure Siakam and Gasol had more fantasy points than him at the end of 4 quarters. But if Kawhi Leonard just has a game where he just scores a lot, he doesn't do a ton in the rebounding department. He does get rebounds, but he's not like racking up a ton of rebounds. He's not flirting with a triple-double or anything. He's going to get a couple assists. And if he has a bad game in the blocks and steals department, he can easily have like a low 40-point game, and he can easily be outscored by Siakam. So if I play Giannis at captain and play Siakam here, I'm going to play Giannis here. Probably play Siakam, with Siakam, I'm just looking to try to get me the same amount as Kawhi or get me within like a few fantasy points within Kawhi. And Siakam can definitely do that because he's going to be playing probably as many minutes as Kawhi does. He played 52. Kawhi played 52 and Siakam played 51. So something like that, just to be different because we're getting close to the end of NBA with the other series already over. So your chances to getting a top spot are getting lower and lower. So if you just play Giannis and Kawhi, I feel like so many people are going to have that same combination on FanDuel. But if I do something like this, then I could probably go with, if I want to get really sneaky, I could play Powell here at this 1.2x. And then play, see if I go with Gasol. Let's see. So if I go with Bledsoe and Brogdon here, and then we can go with Marc Gasol. If you want to do something like this, we'll put up 55. I'm not expecting that out of him again, but he really stepped up, and they're gonna need him to step up again. So you can do something like this if you're gonna get really, really sneaky, right? If you're playing a lot of GPP lineups, but if you're just looking to min cash, then I would do something like Giannis. Go with Giannis, Kawhi. Probably still play Giannis, Kawhi. Probably still go with Powell here just to be a little more different, and then go with Mirotic or go with Lopez, who's gonna close the game. Lopez and then Serge Ibaka. I think Ibaka's going to make an impact before the series is over. He just shot 2 of 9 from the floor last game. I only played 14 minutes too, but if he's playing well, you can see minutes in the high 20s. And if Gasol's struggling, you can see minutes in the high 20s. Or if somebody's dealing with foul trouble, he's going to get minutes. So something like this is probably good if you're just looking at cash. But that's it for the video. Those are the picks I'm looking at for Draftkings and FanDuel. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can like the video if you enjoyed, and good luck today.